What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the ranch. So, listen, I've been skiing a couple days already this season, and it's just now November, so that's pretty what's up. And we're back at the ranch, and if I'm being honest with you, my press form isn't going very good. Here's a little clippy clip. All right, so check it out. It's like this. Here's my form for the base of the press, and need some more work. I hustled through cutting the first one in a hurry, and then subsequently none of them worked out right, and I had to start over again. So this here's my new line, and when I get a chance, I'm gonna cut all this back down and get a better shape. Totally my bad on a first try. You know the old saying, measure twice, cut 5 times. That's how I roll. Yeah, I got in a hurry and I didn't make the first cut very good, and now it affected the whole rest of the form. So I've got to start back from item number 1, you know, the first piece, reshape it, hopefully get it right this time, because I don't want to press the skis without having it shaped correctly, right? That would be nonsensical. So we'll go again, we'll try again. But you know, it is what it is. It happens. It's like falling on your skis, right? Everybody falls, and it's just not that big of a deal. If you get seriously hurt, you know, then that's different, and that sucks. But it's part of skiing. You make a mistake, you get up, you learn from it, you keep on trucking. So skiing, snowboarding, sledding, life, all that kind of stuff, you know, and it is what it is. We're gonna keep working on the press. Hopefully next week I'll have a little bit more to show you. But in the meantime, I've been thinking about, you know, how do you size a ski or a boot, or, you know, poles, and how do you size stuff appropriately to get out on the slopes? The first thing you can do, the very first thing you can do is, if you know your shoe size, this relates to boots, you can go ahead and Google Mondo Point boot size, right? And you can look at the chart, and that'll get you started. When it comes to boots, you know, a lot of people think they're supposed to fit one way or another. If you have a decent shop in your neighborhood or a place you go often enough, you know, ask them to help you size it. But basically for myself, I'm a little more aggressive with my boot fitting than I probably should be, and I downsize a full size. So I wear a Mondo Point 28, and often I will go with a 27 size ski boot. It's gonna do a few different things. One, technically it's less material, so technically it's lighter. But two, with an alpine binding, it makes the dead zone on your ski, you know, a little less, depending on how it got mounted at the shop, or if you did it yourself. You know, there's some things that play into that, but the dead spot under your boot could be a little less with a smaller boot. So, but it's also wildly uncomfortable if you go too small. So that's something to keep in mind. But you don't want it so big that you can wear 2 socks. That's too big. You don't have it fit right, and that's gonna actually cause more problems with the control of your turns, because there's just more stuff moving around, and you don't really want that. As far as a pole goes, do I have one right here? All right, check it out. So as far as a pole goes, ooh, that's dirty as all get out. That's embarrassing. Oh well, no big deal, right? You've all seen my workshop. As far as the pole goes, what you want to do is you want to get it right under here, under the basket, put it down on the ground, okay? And if you're standing up, let's see if I can do this. Standing up, you want it to be at a 90 degree angle, which this pole's way too big for me. But so you want a 90 degree angle on the pole, like, you know, whatever. And it's best, well, whatever. If you're standing in your street shoes, that's one thing. But don't forget, your ski boots bring you up a little bit, your binder brings you up a little bit, and your ski brings you up a little bit. So if you're a little long, you might not have a problem, but if you're a little short, it's going to get even shorter when you're on the snow. So that's something to think about with your poles. If you're trying to size up some skis, right, there's all kinds of ways to tell, but if you go basically to your eyes, this is a little short. This happens to be a slalom ski, but if you go to your eyes, then that's the best ballpark spot to hit. Anyway, so if you come right in here, right at your eyeballs, that's the best ballpark spot to start from. You could size up a little bit if you're doing like an all mountain ski or a powder ski. It depends on your ski level, and that's something you kind of learn as you go. But I've got skis, the one I just had in my hand, let me look here, gosh, it was a 160. And then I've got some, I've got some that range all the way up to 200 centimeters, I believe I have a set. I believe the Wizards, maybe they're 190s, in the 190 class. And so a thing that's happening now, and I don't really hear people talk about it, and maybe it's not that big of a deal even, but the thing that's happening now with skis is like, and it's always this way, because you cut it down to a certain shape when you're all done. You know, you might label the ski 160, but if you really measured it out, it might be like a 161 or a 162 or even a 159, 158. Like, it might not be exactly 160. And so with your skis, it's a bit like a television, right? They all say like 50-inch class, 60-inch class, 70-inch class. So if you're getting if you're looking for like a 160, you know, you're probably fine with a 162 or a 158 if you measure out at 160. So that's something to just kind of think about. It doesn't always have to, like, if your eyes measure out at 160, don't worry about it if you're at 161 or if you're at 159. That's a 160. And when you progress far enough along in your skiing, if you're comfortable, you should be able to hop on basically any ski that's set up to your standards, and be able to ski it pretty well once you get it adjusted. You know, you might take a run or two to kind of learn the ski, but once you get there, regardless of the ski, you should be able to get out and have a good time on it. So whether it's 100 underfoot, 100 millimeters underfoot, or 80 millimeters underfoot, whether it's 160. So at any rate, what it comes down to is skiing lengths. You know, you should be looking for what's correctly sized for you. If you're not a competent, I don't want to say competent. If you're new, or you're still learning, or you're still progressing, which everyone should be, that would be ideal, right? Because even when I get out, every time I get out, I try to, like, what could I work on? What didn't go that good? How can I improve for the next run? Maybe not the next run, but I try to like focus on an improvement for if I'm going out on Sunday, what can I work on, but still have a good time. So there's that. But anyway, so that's, ski sizing, boot sizing, pole sizing, that's the basics. And if there's a decent shop nearby, if you're lucky, you'll get a really good sales folk that really knows their business. And I always used to really enjoy helping people find the right fit for them, whether it was skis or boots. Poles, that's not that much fun. Helmets are another thing you kind of want to watch out for, but there's no real good way to describe that to you, right? But if you put on your helmet and you slide your thumbs in, like right here at your like right above your temples, slide it in. If you can kind of do this, you know, it's probably just about right. And try it on, let it ride for a couple minutes, because if you start to feel a pinch point, that's going to turn into a headache when you're skiing, and nobody wants a headache when they're skiing, right? There's enough other headaches on the hill you're trying to watch out for, so, you know, keep your eye out for that. Anyway, and then I've got, I know we talked about this really early on in the show, couple first episodes, but fear of the unknown. Got a quote here. It's credited to Julius Caesar, and I'm probably not going to fact check this. So if you know that this isn't his quote, drop it in the comments, I guess. As a rule, what is out of sight disturbs men's minds more seriously than what they see, right? And I think there's probably a bunch of truth to that, right? So I have a tendency to, unless it's like a big drop off, right? Like if I just can't see below it, maybe it's a cliff or something, then I might ease up to it. But as a general rule, if I can more or less see what's in front of me, I'm feeling pretty good about it, right? So I think that's what that's saying. We all watch out for what we can see and not what we can't see, right? Fear of the unknown, right? So for some people, a fear of falling is actually a fear of the unknown. If life has not included contact sports, crashing your skis, falling off your bike, or other opportunities to tumble and roll, then the one way to overcome this is to find out that the fear is more frightening than the actual falling. This seems to be true for all fears of the unknown. So identify what it is that is bothering you, acknowledge the anxiety, and bring yourself back into the present. Only when you're experiencing the present will you be able to respond more appropriately to whatever it is that frightens you. And I'm not trying to take it outside of skiing. So if you're new to skiing and you're uncomfortable and you're, maybe trying to make that transition even from the green run to a blue run, if you're uncomfortable, don't let other people, and there's all the hecklers on the chairlift, right? And don't worry about them. If you have to make a big turn, a big arcing turn, and then cut way across the hill, and then make another big arcing turn and cut back across the hill to try to get your confidence up, I don't think that's wrong. I think there's something to be said for being in the moment and knowing, okay, I'm gonna do this, because just a little bit of practice oftentimes will get you where you want to go, right? You don't have to be great at it today. Just give it another shot tomorrow, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to look through here a little more and find some other good stuff, but okay, so there's a bunch of workout stretches in here. That's awesome. I have to do some of these. Maybe I'll record some of it. We'll see what's going on. Breathing. You should always breathe. There's a whole section here about breathing. From our first breath to our last, the body is programmed to ventilate automatically. That's ideal. We tend to interrupt this process by holding our breath and not letting it flow in and out, thus inhibiting the natural circulation of our body rhythms. The breath not only carries oxygen to the muscles, which you need when you're skiing, because otherwise you're going to get tired and then you're going to go have a break, and all of a sudden your body's going to be like, let's get some nachos, and pretty soon you've had a beverage and some nachos, and you're like, oh, it's snowing out, it's kind of sleeting out, maybe I want to get another run. See, all you had to do was breathe. If you'd have just been breathing on that first run, you'd still be out there skiing having a great time. So breathe, wait for nachos till after. The breath not only carries oxygen to the muscles, but also to the brain, which in turn sends messages to each part of the body. By increasing our intake of oxygen, we clear the mind and speed up our metabolism and the rate at which energy is made available. Generally, when practicing the stretches, we need to breathe in smoothly, not forcefully, and then to extend into the movement on the exhalation, outward breath. Do we all not know what exhalation is? Well, whatever. Now we do. Exhalation, outward breath. Breathe evenly while making further adjustments and extensions to further adjustments and extensions. And then inhale, breathe in, as you come out of the stretch. This is a natural breathing pattern that will automatically seem right. As you become more familiar with the poses, you can put more awareness into your breathing and let it do the stretching for you. Sounds like hocus pocus, guys. We're gonna mark that and we're gonna try it out because that seems hilarious. But anyway, I think that's still a good point though. If you get in some runs and you're not thinking about it, you get into a spot where you're uncomfortable, you might hold your breath, and I think that's a good point. Make sure you are breathing at least on some level, because yeah, if you're depriving yourself even a little bit of oxygen, if you're in the mountains, that's going to make your turns, that's going to make your run that much harder. And we're trying to extend the day, right? Train all day. train all day. So that's the low altitude training team motto, right? Train all day. So anyway, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to do it, or open their computers and do it for them. And I'm gonna send out some t-shirts and stuff. I need some more subscribers. Come on, guys, tell your friends. And we'll do some t-shirts and some wax and stuff. Actually, another thing that came in, I ordered up some all temp eco wax. I think it was eco wax. So not only is their packaging biodegradable, I wonder if the little tab is made out of that corn oil or if it's plastic. That'd be ridiculous if it was full-on plastic. But anyway, so this is that all natural wax. I haven't put it on anything yet, as you can see, but we're gonna throw it on some skis and hopefully get out this weekend. It's supposed to be like 70 degrees on Sunday. Can I go skiing when it's 70 degrees? Let's ski about that. Catch you next week. Let's something else to talk about.